Hey guys, today we're back with another gun review, and today on the channel I'd like to give my initial impressions on the CZ Shadow 2 Optics Ready. The thing about the CZ Shadow 2 Optics Ready is that, as the name says, it is an Optics Ready CZ Shadow 2, which is one of the more popular, if not most popular, competition pistols out on the market right now. The CZ Shadow 2 actually come out at, if I'm not mistaken, maybe SHOT Show of 2019. I know it was already being introduced into the market before SHOT Show, but it has been out about around almost a year, if not about around a year and a half now. So it's good to see that CZ is now adding a shadow to the market to where you can actually add an optic to it. The thing about it is that coming in at $1549 MSRP, which is $200 more than the CZ Shadow 2 single action or the normal CZ Shadow 2. I'm not really sure if that is a good price point for a optics ready pistol. As you can see from some of the design points, the optics ready CZ Shadow 2 has a actual mount on the top of it that whenever you remove it, it will also remove the back side, but you can place a RMR or a red dot or whatever you'd like to on the back of it. That being said, a lot of people don't really like putting, I guess you would say, an RMR as a race gun on, or an RMR on a race gun, because whenever the slide reciprocates, you've got all that mass also from the red dot that will be moving back with it whenever it actually slides back to have another bullet go into the chamber, which means more muzzle rise or more muzzle flip more than anything, because all that mass is coming back. With that being said, I can see where some people would like to see this, but what I would rather have seen would be in a CZ Shadow 2 that had the cutout like the TSO did on the side of it, to where you could add a red dot that would slide over the actual, or that would go over the actual slide, like one of the, I think it was about around where the, I guess you would call it a gas pedal was for your thumb on your left hand, if you was a right-handed shooter, would go. There was a little slide plate that you could actually screw in there, and you could mount a optic on the top of it. So a few words from CZ on this. Finally bound for U.S. soil, the variant of the Shadow 2 is pre-cut for the optics plate system to allow the mounting of a red dot sight. Just as standard Shadow 2 has become the gun of choice for many USPSA production division competitors, the Shadow 2 Optics Ready is ideal for USPSA optics, carry optics. Building on the base Shadow 2, the OR Optics Ready has a slightly different slide profile to allow the optics plate system. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know how many plates it actually will come with, or if it will come with just the one whenever you remove the actual side off of it, but very interesting design. I like anything that CZ has to offer. They're one of the best actual gun makers on the market now, if not the best, in my honest opinion. But the only thing about it is that, like I said, the CZ Shadow 2 has been out possibly around almost a year and a half now, if not longer than that. And I feel like it would have been something that they should have released more towards whenever they actually released the Shadow 2, to where if you wanted an RMR, you wouldn't have had to send your gun off to a specialist or to a gunsmith to have that installed on it, to where you could put an RMR on it. And, you know, it's interesting for sure, but I'm not really sure if it's something that I would be interested in, or an actual competitor would be interested in, because of just how the mechanics work with this. Because once you take off your slide plate, or your plate that will have your back sights on it, if you'd ever want to put your sights back on it, your shot would probably, or possibly, not probably, but possibly be a tad bit off, depending on how tight you tighten the screws and everything else. It's not going to be miles off. It's not going to be really that much inches off, but whenever it comes to having your gun perfectly dialed in, I think it would affect it to a certain degree. Meaning that whenever you take a sight off of a gun, even if it is a plate, whenever you screw it back in, it's not going to be to the exact tolerances, I guess you would say, as it was whenever it was mounted as it was from factory. That being said, though, I'm interested in seeing how the Optics Ready Shadow 2 does on the market. Just coming from a price point, though, $200 over the MSRP of a normal Shadow 2. I don't know if that is a good price for it, though. Maybe $100 more would have been a little bit more interesting. I understand there's probably a lot that goes into putting a optic plate on these guns and everything else, but I just don't see it being $200 extra. Whenever I would probably would have liked a gunsmith to do it more and possibly done it without having to remove the back sight, because also whenever you remove the back sight, that means that you're not going to be able to coincide probably suppressor sights or coincide just your sights with the red dot itself, which a lot of people like to do. I myself kind of dabbled in the optics realm for a little bit. I actually had put a Venom Vortex on my Glock 34, and at a certain yard, I think I had it dialed in at 15, it was dead on. But if you moved back any bit over 15, your shot was going to be off a few inches, pretty much a few inches. Or if you move forward, it's going to be off a few inches, just, elevation, more than likely, not windage or anything. But it was off enough to make me think, if I have it dialed in at this, then if I have to take a longer shot, like an actual self-defense scenario or something else, where's my bullet going to land? And that's really what got me wanting to just stay with my iron sights that I have on the gun. And personally, I think that's what will be best to stay with the CZ Shadow 2, is just keep pretty much the normal sights on it, because they're perfect as they are. But just keep the normal sights and just throw the Optics Ready, or the optic, to the side. But, I mean, even if I did want to do that at an actual Optic 2, the CZ Shadow 2 to begin with, there's tons of companies that make attachments that go on to your actual tack rail, which the CZ Shadow 2 has, that will make it to where you can mount a optic above the slide to where it's not going to be reciprocating with the slide every time the gun goes off, which I like that a lot better. Plus, too, if you know anything about CZ, they produce one of the most reliable pistols on the market, especially the Shadow 2. I mean, you can see the test online, but the only thing that's kind of got me questioning is that will it affect the reliability any if adding the RMR on it? And with some guns, it doesn't affect it at all. And with other guns, adding a tiny bit more mass sets off something inside of it to where it pretty much makes it unreliable to a certain point. And, adding all these X factors on top of it and all that, I just don't really know if the optic on the top of the CZ Shadow 2, which is already an amazing pistol, was a good point. And it being $200 more, I just don't really see many people jumping out if they already have a Shadow 2 or a Shadow 1 or anything else and saying, hey, let's go ahead and get this pistol just because it's got an optics cutout on it. I just don't really see many people doing that. Maybe if you're in the market for a optic on your pistol and you haven't bought a competition pistol yet, I can maybe see that. But if I had the Shadow 2, I really probably wouldn't run out and try and sell it real quick just to find one that had the optics cut out on it. So guys, let me know your honest opinion on it, what you all think. Once again, it's $200 more than the MSRP on a normal Shadow 2, which might be a good price point for some people, but for me, it really just doesn't hit. So guys, I appreciate y'all viewing. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I will see y'all in the next video. Hey guys, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I'd like to make a quick shout out to Hero Soap Company for sponsoring my channel. Hero Soap Company does a 1-1 ratio with their soap lines, with their subscriptions, to where if you subscribe to their soap every single month, you will get a delivery of soap in the mail once a month. And not only that, but they will also send a 1-1 ratio of the soap you purchase overseas to a soldier in need. Not only that, but some of their profits that they make from their subscription lines will go to soldiers and first responders such as law enforcement, EMS, and fire in need, and will go to multiple other different actual charities involving first responders and veterans. So guys, it's very good quality, very good company, and if you'd like to check them out, go to the description below and find my link, and you can use that and go into their website and make sure that you type in GoldenWebb at the end, and it will give you 10% off. But just want to make a quick shout out to Hero Soap Company and giving them a special thank you. So guys, appreciate y'all viewing, and I will see you all in the next video.